everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Andy. How are you all doing? Hope everyone's doing great, and I hope you're having a great day so far. Today we're gonna be making a storage pod or a wall hanging storage basket. Okay, there's a sewing pattern available to download. Just check it out on the description below, and you will get 3 sizes. So small, medium, and that's the biggest one. So my version for this one is quilted. I really love it. Just have that, you know, nice quilted feel. And I just love this fabric. I recently just got it. And some of you have been asking, where do I get my fabrics from? I honestly just get them from everywhere in the world. From the US, I mostly go to Missouri Star Quilt Company, sometimes Fat Quarter Shop, or can't remember the names exactly. And sometimes I just, just Google them, or sometimes I get them from Instagram, or in Dubai where I live. They're all over the place, and I also stock a lot of fabrics to sell locally here in Dubai. So if you're from here, just message me on Instagram. My username is Andy the Maker, and if you saw a fabric that you like, then message me to see if I still have some. Maybe I can spare some. If not, then that's also okay. Yeah, so what fabrics can you use? What do you need to make this bag or storage? For a quilted version, of course, you're gonna need a batting, cotton quilt fabric for lining and exterior. You can make one small one using 1/2 meter of fabric, of lining and exterior. So 1/2 meter each, then that is more than enough to make the small size. And if you don't have a batting, you could also use an interfacing, fusible fleece, or a light to medium weight iron-on interfacing or woven interfacing, whatever you have. But if you don't have any interfacing at all, don't have any batting on hand, and you just really want to try making this one, that's fine. Grab your fabric, just make it. It's just not gonna be as, it's just not gonna be standing like this. It might be, it might be like that. But if it's your practice, that's fine. Then if you want to make more, decide to want to make more, then go ahead and purchase some batting or interfacing. Okay, and also I suggest using cotton canvas for this types of project. If you have cotton canvas for the exterior and then cotton fabric for the lining, you might not need to interface it. Okay, but if you really want it to stand really firmly, then definitely interface it or use batting. So here I've used a fusible interfacing. It stands a lot better, or a lot firmer than a quilted one. So you can see the kind of look, but look at the side. This one is falling. Yeah. So it depends on the look and the finish you want your storage pod to be. So then you can decide what materials you're going to use. So I've given you all the options. You can then decide. Right, pinking shear, or the scissors that has zigzag teeth, that would be really helpful in cutting the rounds, especially the bottom here and the seams. But you don't need to have it. Okay, that's just nice to have. Also, yeah, I think that's all you need. Of course, iron, scissors, sewing machine, all the basic stuff. Let's get started. Okay, once you've printed your pattern, so you can see here that you're gonna have to tape 4 pages. So how you're gonna do that is, first of all, you need to make sure that your test square is accurate. So what I mean by that is when you printed this page, so you make sure you first print this page. This is the second page, and grab your measuring tool or ruler, and then make sure they're perfect 10 by 10 centimeter. Okay, if it's not, then that means you'll have to change something on your printer setup. Probably you have to print 100% scale or fill the page, or depending on how you get your page to be a bit bigger. Okay, now there's the bottom, and here is the four papers that you're gonna put together. So once you've printed them in the right size, your paper should just not overlap anything. Okay, so they just need to be right next to each other, and then like so. And then you're gonna, that's okay with the gap, that's how it should be. It's just like this. So for the biggest, so it's like this. Okay, you see the gap? You see the gap there? That's okay. That's how it should be. Okay, so do that first, and then we'll go ahead and cut our fabric. Here, so I have it out of the biggest size. So there's my biggest size. You're gonna cut your fabric on fold, on the smaller side. That's where the middle is gonna be. Okay? And then if you have a tag or label or anything, this is the perfect time now to stitch them. Okay, before you put them all together. Then you're gonna need a lining. Oh, sorry, this is my lining and this is my exterior. Of course, you can use the same fabric for all. That's fine, you know, sky's the limit when you're choosing your fabric. I just want this for my lining. That's for my exterior. Now you're gonna need one piece of this one. It's the hook or the handle. Okay, so you're just gonna double fold this. So you fold it once and then open it to create the crease, and then fold one more, and then on the other side, and then fold it like so. So if, for example, on the paper, you fold it in half, okay, and then open it up, fold one half in half, and then do on the other side, and then finally fold it, and then make sure that you iron these really flat. That would really help your fabric to stay flat, and that it will look really nice and neat. So as you are folding each side, iron it so it creates the crease properly. Okay, if you're not satisfied with how it's folded, you know, you can just pin to hold it in place, and then sew once, like very close to the edge, and then on the other side sew it very close to the edge. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do for the handle. So you only need one of these. And then for the main, so it says one main, one lining, one interfacing or batting. So mine, I've already cut it, and make sure when you're cutting your interfacing, it has to be a bit smaller than your, it has to be like half an inch smaller than your actual pattern. So like mine, this might be a bit too big of a gap, but that's okay. So as you can see, it's a bit smaller. Okay, right, just to avoid bulky. But for batting, it's fine. You just, if you're using a batting, what I suggest is cut out your fabric just like so, or don't cut the darts yet, right? So let's say that's still got the fabric there. cut your batting just the same size as this one, say a bit bigger, give it an inch allowance all around, and then stitch it down however, you know, whatever design you want. If you want to do swirly or just straight, that's fine. And then start cutting, and also the dart. That's how I do it, and you might find some other technique that will be easier for you, but that's just how I do it. For the darts, you fold your pattern and then there, mark it with any marking tool, and then cut with scissors. I don't recommend cutting your darts with your rotary cutter because, you know, it might go through there and you don't want that. Okay, for your circle, okay, so you have two, one exterior, one lining. Same with body, one body, exterior, one lining. So you will only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 pieces of pattern. Okay, now for the bottom, the round bottom, we're gonna be preparing, and you know, go ahead and interface your fabrics if you haven't yet. I've already done that. And if you're doing batting, go ahead and quilt them now. Okay, next we're gonna be snipping and marking our centers. So for the bottom, you just fold it in half, okay, and then just hold it and then cut a little bit, just, you know, less than a quarter of an inch. That's just to mark your center. See this, and then fold it on the other side and match the ones you cut, like that. Then cut again, tiny bit. You could also just mark it with a pen. You don't need to do this, okay? We're gonna demonstrate it with you on this one. So I've got a normal pen here. So if you, okay, have there's my marking. Again, you can use chalk, fabric marker, anything. This will be hidden anyway, so even if you use something, a normal pen, that's fine. Then match the lines, the markings that you've just made, and then mark. Make sure they line up. Okay, there you go. Now we've marked our circles. Now we're gonna go and first sew these down, my label, and then after that we're gonna fold them in half and then sew 1/2 inch all the way down. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here I have sewn 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way down, and make sure you secure your stitches at the beginning and the end by backing stitch. Okay, now you can see your darts here. Match them and pin or clip, and then on the other side too, pin or clip. Okay, and then we're gonna sew 1/4 inch all the way down to those darts, and then you do exactly like that with your lining, but instead of 1/2 inch, make it a little bigger than 1/2 inch. Okay, so add 2 millimeters to your 1/2 inch, and then that's, And also, let me just draw it for you. So here, so you start here, back stitch, go all the way down and stop right here. And then leave a 3-inch gap and then start sewing again, back stitch there all the way down, and then again back stitch at the end. The reason for this is for you to for you to turn them inside out later when the lining and the exterior is together. Okay, let us do that. Okay, so sew your lining and also your darts on your lining. Okay, here I've sewn my lining. Okay, made sure I've got a gap there enough to turn the things inside out later. Now, go on your ironing board and iron them open, the seams. Okay. Just like so, and then on the other side, fold it towards the wrong side of the fabric. There. And that just helps you with, you know, making sure they're lined up properly. Okay, and do it on your exterior fabric as well, just like so. Okay, now fold that in half, following your seam, your center seam, and then just like what you did for the bottom, we're gonna mark them. So find that, mark that. You don't need to mark this one because the seam will be your guide. Okay, and then open it up and then match the center seam to the marking you just made. You can clip that if necessary, just to make sure they're lined up, and then snip a bit for your markings. And you're gonna use that as a guide now for your bottom piece. Okay, so right sides together like that, so you're facing the wrong sides of the fabrics. So match all your markings. You can pin or clip this. Do it on 4. Okay, and then slowly do it to the other sides. Okay, now we're gonna work on the curves. Okay, that, and then that. Okay, you can clip as much as you want though. No, you like so, and do that all around. Okay, once you've clipped everything, start sewing slowly and 1/2 inch seam allowance all around. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing on your lining, exact same thing. Okay, we've sewn all around, and it's nice to clip that. Now, I said in the beginning that pinking shears are very helpful, or nice to have for this kind of project, because you can just go ahead and cut these so they're like in zigzag, and then also your bottom piece. Okay, and then it just helps like lay flatter, or it opens up. And then here, even if you find yourself having puckers on the bottom, like so, that's okay. I mean, I kind of like it. Okay, so that's fine. Don't worry about it. And then grab your handle or your hook. Okay, and then we will sew it on the right side of our exterior fabric. Here's my hook, so you can see how that's sewn, and then you just fold it that way. Make sure that's not twisted. You can do that on one side or that side, and then find the middle, which is the seam, and then just match it. Make sure it's centered. Okay, then just clip that in place, and then sew a basting stitch just once, and then we're ready to sew this lining just like what we did on our exterior, and then we will put them together. So I've just stitched once. Okay, so it's gotta look like this. Now make sure you do the exact same thing for your lining. Snip or mark, whatever it is you prefer. For me, this is what I prefer. Then I've already marked this earlier. Okay, then we'll sew this together. Okay, I think we're done with the hardest bit, which is the round bottoms. Okay, again, just snip a bit, making sure you don't clip your threads. Okay, now your exterior has to be in its right side, like so, and then here is your lining, and it's on the wrong side. Now you're gonna put this in your lining. And then now it should just be very easy to match all the seams. Then clip them, and then go to your darts and match them, and nest your seams. So one seam going this way, one seam going that way. That's how you nest the seam. And go on the other side, and then first on the dart, again nest your seam, and then work your way here like so. And we're very close to the end. So you're just gonna go ahead and sew an inch seam allowance, sorry, a half an inch seam allowance all the way around. Okay, now we wanna clip our curves, so it just stays a bit flatter when you turn it inside out. these extra touches will just make your finished product look so much professional. Making sure to not clip your threads. Okay, that should do it. And now find your opening, then grab your exterior, gently turn them inside. Oh, your lining naturally just follows. Okay, first of all, you want to reach to your darts, push them out, and then the bottom, just there you go. Then for this opening, just stitch it close, very close to the edge. Okay, like a millimeter to the edge. Okay, like this, very close. Now push that in. Or use your fingers to just line them neatly, and then you can iron this just to help them go. And okay, the final thing we need to do is to just stitch 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch. You can even do 2 stitches. So you can either just do 1 and just go around, or you can do twice, whichever you prefer. There you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching till the end. There is our storage pods. I think these are great to sell as well, to sew and sell. They're very practical and useful, and they're very cute, especially if you choose a really cute design of fabric. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for always supporting. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you like it, and let me know your thoughts, comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Hey, be kind to everyone. Bye.